Okay, I wanted to give you a quick run through on how the transmitter is set up. I figure I'll just put this video up on YouTube for you so you can reference it if you need to. So how I have it set up is the gear switch is here, SF. I'm not going to flip it now because it's sitting on the gear and it will drop. Other than that, we have an idle up switch, which is SE right here, which I'll show you how that works. Basically, it's killed if it's forward and all the way back. Starts up the idle. So I'll just show you one more time. Let me just hold the airplane. And flip the switch. And of course it tries to roll away on my nice smooth concrete floor. You could bump it down a little bit more if you wanted to, just with the throttle trim, and that will affect that. So you can idle it down if you're flying it off of pavement. I always flew it off of grass, so I left the idle up a little bit. I just kind of like the sound of it while it was taxiing around on the ground, ever kicking on and off. It would just sound like it was, those 12 blade fans sound pretty nice, so it just idles all the time. So there's that. Then we've got flaps on this switch here, SB, yeah, SB. And I did slow the speed of the servos down for the flaps. So there's takeoff flaps, there's landing flaps. I used both of them and in both of their functions. When you take this thing off, I've heard of people on the forums trying to pull it off the ground too soon and stalling it. I never had such a problem, but I never really did anything I thought was abnormal. So I just flew it, and I never even knew that was a thing until somebody mentioned it to me, and I went and looked at it and said, oh yeah, a couple people have had that problem. So yeah, just get it up to a reasonable speed with takeoff flaps and ease on the elevator, and it'll be fine, or at least it has been for me. So there's that. And then the only other switch we really have is my rates switch, which I set up over here, which is SD. So I have low, mid, and high rates, and that changes everything except for so elevators low, and then high, and it's only a little bit more. I found I wanted more elevator on landing, so I kind of got rid of the low rate elevator. So my original low rate is now the same as the mid rate. So that's just mid rate basically for elevator, and then high rate, which is just a little bit more. I set up all of my expos so that your stick is going to feel the same around the middle, no matter what. So there's no need to panic if you're in the wrong rate. Just stick to the middle of the stick and you'll be fine. So aileron has quite a bit more throw on high rate. It rolls pretty good in high rate, but just normal flying is great in low rate. And I think the only reason I really set up triple rates on this from the beginning was because I wasn't sure how it was going to fly. And on a test flight, I just like to have a few options. So I think I set a few options up, and then I tweaked them all after the first flight, and usually I tweak them again after the second or third flight and get them where I want them. And then I think typically I flew it in low rates, and then if I was doing some Cuban 8s and things like that, I went up to medium or high. Just a little bit more aileron for the most part. The rudder was a little more on high rates, so if you need to it taxis pretty well as it is. This is the only thing that might be a little bit off for you, is the nose gear. I had set on the 18 SZ. There is more trims available. So I'll show you here. I had the nose gear set up on T6, which is right here, at +8. So likely what I did is I taxied it and just trimmed it on the ground with this this trim switch. On the 14SG, there's not really a good place to put that. I could have put it on one of the sliders or something, but I figured that would just end up being bumped or moved. My suggestion is to taxi it again on the ground and go in and adjust the sub trim for the nose gear steering, which is auxiliary 1. So you would do that by just coming into sub trim and going into aux 1, and you see it's already at plus 30 because that's probably where I set it on the bench to try to get it straight, and then just adjust it again from there. You know, a little bit left or right to get yourself to track straight. So that's a little bit more of a pain on the 14SG than on the 18 because you have the extra trim switches. So other than that, I can show you real quick. Actually, no, I can't because the gear will go down. So you can see channel 5 right now is the nose gear steering, and that works with the rudder. And then if you were to flip this switch off, that would turn off, and that is done with a simple P-mix. I can show you that real quick. I'm in the wrong menu. Program mix, aux 1 to aux 1. And so basically it's for the input of the stick movement, it is going completely opposite of itself. So it's just basically zeroing out that movement. Once again, it's on, or it's off. This mix is off right now, so the steering is still on. But you can see I have it set to SF, which is that gear switch. If you flip that switch, it will put the gear up, and it will disable the nose gear steering. So I like little things like that, and like the idle up I like as well, just so that it's... It sounds kind of cool. It sounds more turbine-y, as much as you can with an EDF on the ground. So these fans do sound nice. I really liked them. Yeah, no complaints. Great airplane. I hope you enjoy it.